Today is the 12th day of Nador month of 1369 Burmese era and 21st November 2007. The special 60-day retreat was opened on December 1st and today is the 21st. Usually in previous years, Sayadaw usually gives Dhamma talk himself starting from the opening date of the special retreat. But this year, due to some circumstances, Sayadaw could only come to give Dhamma talk on the opening day, and he was unable to give Dhamma talk for 20 days. So Sayadaw actually wanted to meet with all the yogis. Most of the yogis here, they have come a long way, leaving behind their business, their work, and their family members. So they left behind the work, business, family members because they cherish the Dhamma. They really have a strong will to practice the Dhamma. And Sayadaw would like to give Dhamma gift to the yogi, but due to some circumstances, Sayadaw could not give talk for 20 days. But yogis who are here from both abroad and local yogis, even though they did not have the chance to listen to Sayadaw's talk, they have the chance to listen to the tape. They had the chance to listen to the recordings of Sayadaw's talk, and from time to time they also had the chance to listen to Dhamma talks given by meditation teachers. And especially, they had the chance to listen to the instruction tape of the Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, the teachings that are in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha. So it is the most important thing. What is most important is that yogis understand how to practice the Dhamma, and after learning the method of practice, they should put the method into practice. It is the most important thing of all. So in this way, yogis are not losing what is really essential, because they get to learn the method of practice as well as they have the chance to put it into practice. So they are not losing the true essence of practice. And today, Sayadaw is having this opportunity to give Dhamma talk to the yogis. So Sayadaw had decided to give this talk. Before the yogis come here for practice, they may have heard the virtues of the Dhamma. And some of the yogis, they also have practiced meditation, so they know the virtue of the Dhamma from their experience. Having faith and confidence on the Dhamma, they give up, they leave behind the worldly pleasure to come to this retreat. So they bravely gave up the worldly pleasure to come for meditation retreat. And Sayadaw is glad to see them here. According to the teaching of the Buddha, it is said that Dhamma kamo bhavang hoti. It means that the person who cherishes the Dhamma, their life is developed, improved, and uplifted. If one does not know the correct method of practice, there will be not knowing, and the person is degraded. Having the cherishing of the Dhamma, wanting to practice the Dhamma, when the yogi practices accordingly to the teachings given, then the person can free himself, herself from the gravity of kilesa defilement. Practicing the Dhamma, yogi can free himself, herself from the gravity of kilesa defilement, and his or her life will be uplifted. The more the yogi can practice the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality, concentration and wisdom, the more he/she will be free from the gravity of kilesa defilement, and his or her life will be uplifted. And his or her body, speech and mind will become pure and clean, and he/she will come to know the truth stage by stage, and it is very satisfactory. Having practiced the Dhamma to the satisfactory level, it is worthy of becoming a human being in this Sasana, and one has a guarantee in life. So what is most important is to be free from the gravity of kilesa defilement. Yogis who are here, they have heard the virtues of the Dhamma, they have heard the qualities of the Dhamma, and for the ones who have practiced the Dhamma already, they know from their experience. They know that by practicing the Dhamma, by walking on the correct path, they will get to the destination of true peace. So there are two kinds of Dhamma, the knowledge and the true practice. If one practices according to the guidance given, one can free oneself from the gravity of the defilement, and thus the Dhamma uplifts the person who practices accordingly, so that the practitioner will not be degraded. So Dhamma can uplift the practitioner, the Dhamma can protect, the Dhamma supports and uplifts the practitioner, whoever practices according to the teaching of this Dhamma. So Buddha had encouraged the yogis. Buddha had encouraged the yogis by showing them, by teaching them the benefits of practice. There are 7 benefits of practicing the Dhamma, such as purification of the mind and so on. By practicing accordingly to the teachings given, yogis will gain these 7 benefits. So Buddha encouraged the yogis by giving guarantee that by practicing the Dhamma, one can gain these 7 benefits. No other person can give guarantee such as Buddha, giving assurance that the yogis can gain these 7 benefits by practicing Satipatthana meditation. So for those who cherish the Satipatthana meditation, they practice hard and they will gain these benefits. If one does not know the correct method of practice, one has to dispel this not knowing by listening to the Dhamma, by discussing the Dhamma, or by reading. But here, yogis are on retreat. They listen to the Dhamma talk as well as discuss the Dhamma with the meditation teacher. Yogis are not encouraged to read. What they can do to learn the correct method is to listen to the Dhamma talk and to discuss with the meditation teacher. So in this way, by listening to the Dhamma talk and by discussing with the meditation teacher, they can learn the correct method of practice, and thus they can dispel not knowing, and they will be uplifted. Having learned the method of practice, one should practice meditation, and by practicing meditation, they will understand the truth. They will gain knowledge stage by stage. By gaining knowledge stage by stage, their life is also uplifted. So one needs to dispel not knowing by knowing. And in order to know, in order to discern, one needs to practice. And when practicing the Dhamma, in noting the presently arising object, one needs to aim the noting mind towards the object. Aiming alone is not enough. One needs to put effort in the practice. When one is noting rising and falling of the abdomen, in order to keep the noting mind direct or face to face with the object of meditation, rising and falling of the abdomen, one should aim the noting mind towards the object, and one should put effort. Applying these two factors, aiming and effort, mindfulness will develop. Failing to put these two factors, aim and effort, the mind will not be calm. If the mind is not calm and collected, then the mind will go elsewhere. The mind will deviate away from the object, and thus one will not know the object. So in order to know, in order to discern, one needs to practice with aim and effort. One should practice according to the teaching of the Buddha. One should stick to the guidance given by the meditation teacher. Practicing thus, yogi will come to discern the truth stage by stage. By practicing, one will come to discern mind and matter. If one wants to discern mind and matter, then one needs to be mindful of the presently arising object. Being mindful of the presently arising object, one will discern, and by discerning, one can dispel not knowing. One needs to be mindful continuously every single second so that one will come to know. By practicing accordingly, by practicing continuously, one will develop, one will be uplifted, one will be free from the gravity of kilesa defilement. And according to the saying, Dhamma kamo bhava hoti, one will be uplifted, one will develop, improve by practicing, cherishing the Dhamma. The opposite is Dhamma disti parabhavo. If one does not know the correct method of practice, even though if one knows it, if one does not practice diligently, if one is taking easy in the practice, then the Dhamma cannot uplift the person who practices in an easy-going manner. The one who practices in an easy-going manner shows that he, she is not cherishing the Dhamma. He, she is not letting the Dhamma to uplift him, uplift her, and thus the person will be pulled away by the gravity of defilement, and thus the person is degraded, and the person will suffer a great loss. So when the yogi is here to practice the Dhamma, she has to practice the Dhamma diligently according to the teachings given, so that she will be uplifted. It will be a great loss if the yogi is not practicing diligently according to the teachings given. But Jaraji says that the yogis who are here, Jaraji consider the yogis who are here that they cherish the Dhamma, they practice diligently, they practice intensively according to the guidance given. And this is what Jaraji expects the yogi to do. So, in order to attain the Dhamma, one should have a strong will to practice. One should practice diligently according to the guidance given. In order to accomplish the teaching of the Buddha, Sasana Sampatti, there are two factors. The Sasana, the teaching of the Buddha, there are two categories, Dhamma and Vinaya. Dhamma is the accurate guidance and instruction in order to bring welfare and benefit of being. Buddha taught the guidance and instruction in order to bring benefit and welfare. And Buddha prescribed sila, morality. One should refrain from misconduct. One should observe the sila, morality. One should make vows that one will refrain, abstain from these misconduct. If one observes these morality, one's body and speech will be pure and clean. And Buddha gave this definite guidance, Buddha gave this accurate guidance in order to bring benefit. And Buddha taught that by performing things that should be performed, one gets such benefit. In this way, Buddha taught the Dhamma, the instruction and the benefit one will attain by following the guidance and instruction. In the Satipatthana practice, in order to calm the mind, one needs to practice Satipatthana meditation. One needs to control the mind by practicing Satipatthana meditation. As one practices Satipatthana meditation, the mind will become calm and tranquil. One's mind will not be agitated by lust. So this is the benefit of practice. In this way, Buddha taught the instruction, and Buddha also mentioned the benefit. By practicing Satipatthana meditation, one will discern mind and matter, and one will develop Vipassana jnana stage by stage. And one needs to prevent kilesa defilement from arising. And if the kilesa defilement arises, one should cure it right away. It is better to prevent than to cure. So one should prevent kilesa from arising by being mindful of the object. Even if the defilement arises, one should cure it right away by being mindful. And practicing Vipassana meditation, one can weaken the defilement. When the defilement becomes weaker and weaker by Vipassana, at last the defilement can be eradicated when one attains Ariya Magga Jnana, path knowledge. So one should practice at least to this stage, so that the gross form of defilement will be eradicated to the point of no return. And Buddha taught to practice, as well as Buddha taught the benefit of practice, and it is called Dhamma. Dhamma is the doctrine, the instruction given by the Buddha, the accurate instruction to bring benefit for the being. And one should practice according to this Dhamma. And also, there is Vinaya, the discipline. Buddha prohibited certain things, such that one should not do this, one should not talk this way. One should follow the discipline laid down by the Buddha, and this discipline is called Vinaya. Buddha made these disciplines so that the being will be proper in body, speech, and mind. By following the definite guidance of the Buddha, by following the Dhamma, one will gain benefits. And by following the discipline, one will not meet harm. So it is very important to follow the Dhamma in order to gain benefit, and it is important to follow the discipline so that one will not meet harm. In order to accomplish the teachings of the Buddha, in order to gain Sasana Sambhati, there are two factors. The first one is Sadhukan Savana. It means that one should listen attentively to the instructions given. One should listen attentively, respectfully, on the method of practice. And the second one is Sadhukan Manasikara. One should put this into practice by practicing diligently, respectfully. During the practice, yogi should be noting in such a way that his or her mind will be direct or face to face with the object. The noting mind should be concurrent with the object, and the yogi should be noting diligently, respectfully, meticulously. So these are the two factors in order to gain Sasana Sambhati, in order to gain accomplishment in the teachings of the Buddha. One needs to listen attentively to the method given, and one should practice diligently, intensively, meticulously. By following the guidance given by the Buddha, one will get benefit, and in order to make one's mind, body, mind and speech proper, one should follow the discipline. So this Sasana is made of two, the Dhamma and the Vinaya. The Dhamma, the doctrine or the accurate guidance given in order to bring benefit, and Vinaya, the discipline to make being, body, speech and mind proper. By practicing accordingly, one's body, speech and mind will be purified, gentle and clean, and one is said to have accomplishment of the teaching of the Buddha. In order to have accomplishment of the teaching of the Buddha, one should listen carefully, attentively on the method, and one should practice diligently, respectfully, and thus one will gain benefit. So it is very important to follow the guidance. It is very important to practice diligently. And it is the duty of the yogi. And it is very important that the yogi will not fail to do the duty by walking on the path of Dhamma Vinaya, by following the teaching of the Buddha, one automatically becomes Savaka. Savaka means a true disciple of the Buddha. In order to become a true disciple of Buddha, there is the definition, Bhagavato Anusasane Sakachan Sunantiti Savaka. It means that the person who attentively listen and follow the discipline, the doctrine and the discipline of the Buddha is the true disciple. In order to practice the teaching of the Buddha, in order to by following the doctrine, one gains benefit, and by following the discipline, one does not meet harm. Following the Dhamma and Vinaya, the doctrine and the discipline, attentively, respectfully, one becomes a Savaka, a true disciple of the Buddha. And to which extent one should practice respectfully is that Jathanu Sasane Patipassanena Kikka Petito Ariya Bhava Vahan.
Sona Sukika Savana Nama.
Takeka Savana Nama. It means that in order to become a true disciple by practicing attentively, diligently, one needs to practice. One needs to practice the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality, concentration, and wisdom. If one fails to practice Sila, morality, one cannot overcome the gross form of defilement. If one does not practice Samadhi, concentration, one cannot overcome the medium form of defilement that manifests in the mind. If one fails to develop Panya, wisdom, one cannot uproot the latent or dormant form of defilement. Failing to practice the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, one cannot overcome gross, medium, and refined form of defilement. So, in order to become a true Savaka, one needs to practice the three trainings, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, so that gross, medium, and refined form of defilement will be overcome. By overcoming gross, medium, and refined form of defilement, one's body, speech, and mind will be uplifted. One's body, speech, and mind will not be degraded. The more one can overcome gross, medium, and refined form of defilement, the more one's body, speech, and mind will become pure, clean, and gentle. Ariya means Parituta, pure, clean, gentle. One can be said to be Ariya if one's body, speech, and mind is pure and clean. If one is pure, clean in every way, he, she will not be degraded, he, she will be uplifted. And one should practice to the extent that one's body, speech, and mind will be pure and clean. In order to get to this stage, one should listen attentively on the method given, and one should practice diligently so that one will be pure in body, speech, and mind. One will become Ariya, a pure person, and one can be called Savaka, a true disciple. One needs to listen attentively on the method and one should practice diligently according to the method. If one does not listen attentively, if one does not practice diligently according to the guidance, then he/she will not be pure, and thus he/she will be degraded. So one should listen attentively on the method, and one should practice diligently according to the guidance given. By doing thus, one's body, speech, and mind will be blameless, faultless, and thus one's life will be uplifted. If one does not know that one's body, speech, and mind being blameworthy is disgusting, he/she will not put up effort to practice diligently. The one who understands that it is very important to practice to make body, speech, and mind blameless, pure, and clean, one puts diligent effort in the practice, and thus, by practicing diligently, his body, speech, and mind will be blameless, pure, and thus he/she is uplifted. So the purpose of practicing meditation, there are two purposes. One is to purify oneself, to purify one's body, speech, and mind, and the second one is to uplift oneself. So these are the two purposes of practicing meditation. So tomorrow, Sayadaw will explain how one should practice in order to meet these two purposes, purification and to uplift oneself. Tomorrow, Sayadaw will give talk by explaining the word apamada. Apamada means not failing, not negligent. Today 1 hour is up, so Sayadaw will continue tomorrow. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.